How's it going, everybody? Thank you very much. I always appreciate you watching. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr. Welcome to another classic movie review. I am a huge James Bond fan. I've been a fan of the 007 films my whole life since I was a little kid. The first one I ever saw was back in 1989, License to Kill. After that, did a deep dive into the series, into the Roger Moore era, the Sean Connery classics, and with having this channel, and since I talk about the stuff that I love, naturally I'm going to talk about 007 every now and then. The first one, Dr. No, the very first film in the series, was the first review, of course, and so now we are on the seventh film, Sean Connery's sixth film from 1971 from director Guy Hamilton, Diamonds Are Forever. Based on the 1956 book of the same name written by James Bond creator and author Ian Fleming, this film finds James Bond on the trail of diamond smugglers that may be linked to a much bigger plot as he travels from London to Amsterdam to California to Las Vegas. The opening of the film, the pre-title sequence, is a lot of fun with James Bond going on this little mini revenge mission at the beginning of the movie, tying up some loose ends from the previous film. And even though Sean Connery is always very convincing when he's kicking ass on screen, a lot of the fighting in the opening looks a little bit clunky. They make the bad guys look really stupid, especially in this movie. But yeah, either way, Sean Connery always looks good on screen when he's doing his thing. And we have a really cool little sequence with the opening titles. We get that great title sequence with the music. Shirley Bassey comes back to do the song in this movie. She did the Goldfinger theme in this one. She really belts it out with the Diamonds Are Forever song. You have all the ingredients for a classic Bond with this movie. You have Lois Maxwell returning as our Miss Moneypenny, Bernard Lee as M, our beloved quartermaster, Desmond Llewellyn coming back as Q. You have John Barry returning to bring us the music score, that classic Bond sound that he originated back in 1962 with Dr. No and Onward. You also have a screenplay from Richard Maibaum and Tom Mankiewicz. You have great one-liners and quips every now and then, that classic Bond dark humor that comes out every now and then after a kill. You have the babes, the Bond girls, and of course you have the main ingredient, Mr. Suave himself, the legendary Sir Sean Connery, who retired from the role of 007 after his fifth film, You Only Live Twice, in 1967 after really being burnt out on the part and being tired of all the media attention. And so he declined the sixth film. That went to George Lazenby, but they didn't want Lazenby to come back. The producers weren't big fans of him. Originally, Sean Connery wasn't looking to come back to play 007 in the seventh entry, but after the producers offered Connery a record high salary of $1.25 million, it was only a matter of time before he gave in and decided to strap on the Walther PPK and the tuxedo once again for one last go around, as we know would not be the last go around. Now, here are some positive aspects of the film that I always appreciate upon my rewatches of it. When Bond takes out this diamond smuggler to pose as this guy assumes his name and steals his identity to infiltrate the criminal organization, always very cool to see him using a different name other than James Bond and do some actual secret agent shit. Always like that. I like this elevator fight. It's always a lot of fun. Feels like it's real close quarters kind of fight. I like this car chase that happens in Vegas. Really kind of classic Bond car chase. That's always a lot of fun. Gets a little too silly and a little too wacky towards the end of it, but still very entertaining. There's a great moment where James Bond is trying to get inside of a very tall building from the outside by using mountain climbing equipment, and for a moment he's just kind of dangling there on this line. Always looks pretty suspenseful and looks very good even to this day. You also have classic Bond girls, Tiffany Case, played by Jill St. John. You also have Lana Wood in there as one of our Bond girls, sister of Natalie Wood. And Jill St. John, even though her character doesn't do all that much, she's mainly there to be our femme fatale, kind of the flaky, wishy-washy, is she good, is she bad type. Because Jill St. John gives a very fun and spirited performance in the role of Tiffany Case with some funny one-liners every now and then, it's a character that is quite memorable and very enjoyable and also not bad to look at. And you also have Shady Tree, a character played by Leonard Barr, who is a diamond smuggler slash comedian who does a little act in Vegas at a casino every now and then and double crosses Bond, gets double crossed right back. You also have the character of Willard White, played by Jimmy Dean himself. Yes, the guy that is like the sausage guy, Jimmy Dean. And yeah, a lot of likable things about the movie, but for me, it's ultimately a mixed bag. And the negatives that I have with the movie kind of overweigh a lot of the positives. Now, here are my negatives for this movie. The sequence with Bond driving the moon buggy, just a really dumb scene. The way the movie ends, the final big action sequence, very lackluster. The villains of this film are very weak. The only entertaining thing about the villains are the henchmen, which have a nice scene at the end with Bond. One of the best kind of end scenes in a Bond movie, to be honest. It's a really good capper. Sean Connery's performance in this movie as 007, it's almost like he's not even interested in the part after a while. He feels like he's very unenthusiastic in the role at times. He just has this kind of look like he's just kind of been there, done that. You could chalk it up to maybe it's the world weary Bond, but no, you can tell this guy isn't all that happy playing this part at this time. He's just doing it for the paycheck for this one. The main villain is very weak, very lackluster. It feels non-threatening. It's a villain that we had in the past, but it's a recast, and the actor doesn't feel right for the part, at least for me. And it's an actor that we've seen before in a previous film. And so if you watch the series, it's going to take you out of it if you recognize that actor like I did back in the day. Way too much cheesy, non-funny humor that would become a big part of these movies throughout the early 70s, which I don't really care for in this period of the films. And you also have some effects that don't look all that well, haven't aged all that well, and usually I can let that kind of thing slide in a better movie. With all of the flaws, for better or for worse, it's still a classic Bond movie that I do think if you're going to watch these movies, you should check all of them out, because even though a lot of them have their problems, a lot of them have great moments in them, little moments of gold, and this movie is no exception. All these movies are entertaining, whether it's good entertainment or bad entertainment, it's entertainment nonetheless. And yeah, 1971's Diamonds Are Forever, I give it 2.5 stars. Look for it on streaming. A lot of streaming services have Bond films. I'm sure you can find this one. But you guys know me, I'm a hard copy kind of guy. I have my copy right here, ready to go. Boom. There it is, as you can see there. I'm not a fan of this cover, though. They could have picked a better picture to put on this cover, to be honest. But either way, yeah, 2.5 stars. 1971's Diamonds Are Forever. Thank you all very much for watching this classic movie review. I always appreciate it. Please don't forget to comment, share, like. Always helps out the channel. And thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care. Peace out. Bye-bye.